Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. Today I wanted to talk about the goals that I've set for 2024 and just kind of my general vibe going into this new year. If you watched my 2024 bullet journal setup, which by the way if you didn't, you can, and I will link it in the cards and in the description box so you can see more in depth what I'm talking about. But if you watched it, you will see that I made a lot of goal spreads, and this is kind of what it turned out looking like. So I just kind of wanted to go over like generally what my goals are and put it out into the world of what I would like to accomplish this year. I know that making goals in the new year can be really overwhelming for some people and not necessarily when they want to make goals. I've also seen like floating around on Instagram of making goals in the springtime because, you know, that's when the plants are waking up, everything is coming out of hibernation, and if that is the way that it works for you, the best way, then like totally go for it and wait till then to make your goals. Personally, I do like to make goals in January, but I also like to check in at the springtime, you know? I kind of like to do quarterly check-ins with myself, see how I'm doing, but yeah, I know it can be overwhelming to make goals, and I think that it's important to just kind of have some general things that you want to do and not stress too much about it and be realistic with yourself. So, let's talk about my goals. So first of all, my word of the year this year is intentional. I pick a word of the year every single year, and I've found that it just kind of helps me like have a purpose for that year and give me kind of a drive of where I'm going and what I want to do. And this year I picked intentional because I just want to be intentional with everything that I'm doing, whether that is, you know, as a mom, as a wife, in my personal life with my friends and my family, here on YouTube or on other social media platforms. Just, you know, wherever I am, I want to be intentional with my actions. And so that's why I picked the word intentional. And then I like to split up my goals into personal goals and health goals. And that's just like a way that I like to organize, and it helps me go through things in my brain. So that's how I split it up. So let's just go over the personal goals first, and I'll just kind of explain generally what I would like to do this year. So my first personal goal is to make a scrapbook for my daughter. I really want to make a baby book for her because I didn't make one in the first year of her life, and now she's 15 months old, and I just want to be able to, I want to print out a lot of the pictures that I took in the first year of her life, because, you know, it's like they're all on my phone and that's nice, but it's also nice to have like physical photos and ones that she can look back on, and then I can like write down memories and stuff for her. And then I also want to preserve her ultrasound photos because those are very special, and so I want to get some lamination sheets for them. You can't laminate ultrasound pictures in a laminating machine because the heat from it will ruin them, but you can get just like laminating sheets that are like plastic sheets to protect them, and that can help preserve them. So otherwise they just like generally fade over time just because of the type of paper that is used to print them out and stuff, thermal paper. So anyway, that's what I would like to do for her. I'd like to create a scrapbook. And then I would also like to do more parenting education. I think it's always important to learn more things, be, like I said, be intentional. I would like to be an intentional parent. I would like to educate myself and continually educate myself throughout her life. That way I am being the best mom that I can be. My next goal is to be consistent with the Come Follow Me program. So I'm a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and our church has a program called Come Follow Me. I'll show you the manual. This is what the manual looks like. Basically, it is just a program that unifies church study and home study. Our church is a home-centered, church-supported church, gospel. That's what we want to focus on. So this year, the entire church is studying the Book of Mormon. I actually just reread the Book of Mormon last year because I accidentally did it a little bit backwards. Last year we studied the New Testament, and this year we're studying the Book of Mormon, but I'll just reread it again. Not a big deal. And basically each week it focuses on like some chapters in the Book of Mormon, and then it gives like things for your kids to do, and just kind of breaks down those chapters into just easy to understand lessons. And so I just want to be consistent with doing this every single week because I think it's a wonderful resource. I haven't talked about my religion a ton on my channel, mostly because it gets a lot of hate. There are a lot of misconceptions about my church, and so I was honestly really scared to talk about my religion, but it is something that is a core part of me and really, really important to me, and so I thought I would just, you know, include it in this video and not hide it, in the sense that, you know, it is something that I am continually working on, and something that is a huge part of my life of coming closer to Jesus Christ. And that's just something that I am trying to dedicate myself to doing at all times. So yeah, and I fully believe that, you know, even if you are not religious, if you're a different religion than me, even if you're a different type of Christian than me, that's totally fine. There are still things we can connect on, and still things that we can be united in, even if we have different beliefs. And even if we disagree on things, I also don't think that that has to push people apart. So that is that goal. Next, I want to be more bold about making friends. I'm kind of shy about making friends. I wouldn't necessarily say that I'm a shy person, but I get really nervous about making new friends, and making friends as an adult is a lot different than making friends as a kid, because, you know, like when you're in school, you're forced to be around other people every day, and so it's easy to be friends with people because you see them all the time. But when you're an adult, you have to like make the effort to see other people, and especially like as a young mom, it can be hard to find friends. And so I just want to be more bold about making friends, and hopefully I do okay. And then my last personal goal, and I might add more also, by the way, you know, throughout my year, and as things go, I might add more onto this list. But the last one that I have written down for right now is to make our bedroom be more of the way that we want it to be. Eventually, if we ever have the money, we would like to renovate the attic space in this house to be a very nice, large master bedroom and bathroom for us. But right now we have a pretty small room, and I just don't want to hold back from making this room be exactly how we want it to be just because we can't afford to do a large renovation right now. You know what I mean? Like, I can do small things in this space to make it a really nice space for us, even though I can't afford to do the really big thing. And so that will include some little things like this wall over here that I painted leaves on is half painted, haven't finished painting those. I also wanted to do some other decorative elements of painting in here that I never did, and just, you know, I think I might sew some new curtains for in here. Just, you know, small changes, but things that I think will improve our living space for us. So yeah, those are all my personal goals. Now for health goals. Again, I might add some more, but this is what I have so far. The first one that I want to do is I want to learn more about my cycle. The menstrual cycle is something that is very complicated, can be, and very important to women's health. And mine is wacky. So right now I'm pregnant. I'm due in March 16th is when I'm due. And so, you know, it will take some time for my cycle to get back to normal after having a baby, because your hormones do crazy things when you're pregnant and after having a baby. I just feel like I would like to understand the menstrual cycle more and understand how mine works and do the best that I can to improve it as much as I can. I'm not against hormonal birth control if it works for you, but I think I am against it for myself. I have tried many different forms of hormonal birth control, and all of them have made my cycle, my period, worse. Horrible cramps, really, really heavy bleeding, and that's just not something that I want to deal with. I just want to help my body be as healthy as it can be, and I think a large part of that is unlocking what's going on with my menstrual cycle. So that's just something that I want to educate myself on and do what I can to help it become more regular and hopefully less painful. Hopefully. The next thing I want to do is learn how to cook more and become more familiar with different types of food and really have a better relationship with food. I have always kind of struggled with food in the sense that I've had a lot of health issues that have caused me to have lower appetite. I've always been a very small person, and it's really hard for me to gain weight. And so often the narrative around food for me was, you're not eating enough, which is something that I still hear from people quite often, and something that I really struggle with. And so I just want to change that narrative in my own brain for myself and focus on eating in a way that makes me happy. And I do want to eat healthy foods. I want to make more food from scratch because it's something that is fun, and I want to find the fun in it and really enjoy it and really lean into that, because I want my kids to have a healthy relationship with food. I know that that starts with me, and so I want to do everything that I can to help them have a healthy relationship with food. And then the last goal that I have here in my health section is figure out an exercise that works for me, that I enjoy doing, and then actually do it. I also don't generally love just like going to a gym and working out. My husband does powerlifting and bodybuilding, and you know, so he knows a lot about exercise, and it's something that he really enjoys, and he's really tried to get me into it. But I just don't really like just like going out to, you know, we have a home gym here because that is his passion. But I just don't like going out there and doing a workout, you know? That's just not the type of exercise I really like doing. And so I just want to figure out, you know, like, okay, what exercise do I like doing? You know, I like going on walks. I enjoy yoga when I do it, but I never do it. And I like kayaking. I enjoy hiking. I love swimming. So, you know, I just want to lean into that more and just kind of figure out what kind of exercise is gonna make my body happy and not be something that I despise doing. That way I'll actually do it. So yeah, I think, you know, I just want to support my body. I want to support my body to be healthy so that I can be the best mom that I can be. That's kind of my biggest thing. You know, I want to be able to run around with my kids and have the energy to do that. So I want to support my body so that I can have the energy to do that. So those are kind of my main goals. And then what I want to talk about really quick is this kind of goal breakdown page that I made. Again, you can see it in my bullet journal setup if you want to see close up of how I made it and everything. What this spread accomplishes is breaking down each of these goals I just talked about into smaller, more achievable goals every single month. And so I'm just going to tell you what I wrote down for January of how I'm breaking down those big goals and what I'm focusing on specifically in the month of January to get those bigger goals. So the first one, so for personal, what I wrote down, I'm going to finish painting the leaves in my room. I want to do that this month. That's my goal. And then I want to start waking up at 5 a.m. I did today, I did yesterday, and I feel really good. I mean, I feel kind of tired, but I'm also like 7 months pregnant, so, you know. But this is something my husband and I talked about, is that waking up earlier just really gives us a jump start on our day, helps us feel ready to go, and it kind of catapults into all of our other goals because it gives us a better framework to start with to do the other goals. And so, yeah, I want to start waking up at 5 a.m. and doing my Come Follow Me in the morning before my daughter wakes up. That way I just, you know, I can start my day off right. And then for my health goals, I want to try at least one new recipe this month. I'm going to keep it simple. I'm not going to go too crazy, but I want to try at least one. And yeah, that's what I'm doing. And then the other one is I want to stretch in the mornings. I'm going to start with just stretching when I wake up early. I can do some stretches. Did I stretch this morning? No, but I did make that goal too. So maybe I'll do some stretches now. It's 10 a.m. It's still morning. So that's how I'm breaking it down into smaller sections. I just wanted to tell you about that because I know, like, you know, sometimes you make these goals at the beginning of the year and then you just forget about them, or they just seem so large that it's like, how am I actually supposed to do that? And so that's why I like breaking them up into smaller, more actionable items. That way it's like a lot easier, you know, like I'm like, oh, I want to make this room the best it can be. But I'm like, but I'm going to start this month by just painting the leaves, you know? Makes it a lot easier to achieve the goal if you make it into a smaller, more actionable goal. So yeah, that was a lot of talking, but hopefully you liked it. I'm excited for this year. It's going to be a good year. Last year was a great year. You know, every year has its ups and downs, but really I have a lot of high hopes. I'm just happy. I'm happy in my life, and I'm looking forward to continue being happy in my life in this next year. Thank you for listening about my goals. Tell me about your goals. What would you like to accomplish this year? And you know, they can be as big or as small as you want, but tell me about them. And if you have a word of the year, I'd love to hear that too. It's always fun to see what people pick. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!